Okay, some of them are green. That will
Yeah.
be discussed later, no problem. I will take you through each service troubleshooting first. Okay, so let's see. This is my issue, checkpoint status right now. Okay, so what you understand by checkpoint? That it has something to do with the metadata, right? So how will we check such a case when we are onto HDFS? Okay, so first thing first, every time I've told you, every time you have to start a troubleshooting, start by going and checking the logs. So this time I will be going to Hadoop HDFS location. The issue is relating to the name node service. So I will be opening the name node log. I will do a tail of it.
What is the meaning 100F?
100F means to print out the last 100 lines, which are currently being returned to the file. So in here, I think it's generally just now it has started, that's why. And now it's loading the edits. Loading edits means it's pulling the FSCK, the FS image and the meta file into it, the edits file into it. And once this is done, then you will see this error going away. The other thing we can do, so one thing is in the logs. The other thing we can do is to open the name node UI. That will also tell us a lot about the status of HDFS. Something is wrong with the name node.
Yeah, why?
Okay. If UI is not working, in that case, the another command which can help me is HDFS DFS admin -report. But this has to come from the HDFS user so that it will give you the complete result. Otherwise, it will throw an error like permission denied. So I will become HDFS. Okay. The first part will tell me the status of the cluster. I cannot see any replicated blocks or anything, so that means status should be fine. I should just wait for some time.
Sahil, do we need to start the data nodes as well? Because it's on, but it's not in the, like, we didn't put it on the public IP on the shell.
No, they must have started by themselves.
Okay.
When you started your instances, they have already started.
Yeah. The one node, name node is not, is a problem.
Both of them are waiting for, I think, the edits to be pulled in.
Okay.
Okay, we can also do netstat to check this. So right now, I want to make sure if 50070 port is being utilized or not. It's not showing me for the UI, but I can check on the server whether it's actually being utilized or running or not. So I will do netstat. -tunnel grep 500.
But why did you use that 50070 port?
Because this is the port being used by the name node.
Is it where? Okay, but
Name nodes use this port in a non-secure mode. This is non-secure right now. But if you make it secure, the port will change to 50470.
okay.
There are different ports by default which are there, but you can also specify your own ports in the configurations. So yeah, it's actually running on this port. So if it's running,
Okay.
but we are not able to open it, that means it has something to do with my network.
Okay.
This is connection timeout, you can see. Connection timeout. This means something is wrong with my security group or the connection. So let me just quickly check the security group. This is your IP, right?
Right.
10854. Yeah, this is right. All TCP, all TCP. Why have you given this? No, this is not needed. Is this my IP?
This one is your IP. I think I deleted your name. I was just trying to delete your name and just save it, but it didn't save.
We don't need
But
that.
anyhow, your name is gone. Okay.
Your IP and
Okay.
security groups. Still the issue. Okay. Let me check one more thing. I will. So the same thing which we are trying to open on browser, I will do a curl. Curl command is to just like how you are opening it on browser. If you want to open the URL on your server. So curl command will be used then. And I will be using it on the private IP instead of the public IP. Yeah, the request is going actually. It's going over there. So I think the UI is fine. It's just that our browser is not able to open it.
Why the browser is creating this issue? So we need to use different browser.
No, it should not be the browser part. Okay. I can do another thing. Let me open for the shell. Not sure if curl is already there. Yeah, curl is there. It's not reaching. Okay, if I separately mention the security group, this okay, add rule, system TCP. And also I need to check your public IP. So name node is on 44, 145, and 44. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the 44.
Hmm.
That's the 45.
Hmm. So we were putting in the wrong public IP.
Mm. But so when we are putting that cloud cluster 1 public IP,
Hmm.
so the namenet is not going to be showing up. We have to use the data nodes one. But
No.
yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. So these IPs are wrong actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
We
okay.
have to. So every time you will start your instance, the public IPs will be changing. I think you were using
Yeah,
the old public IP. That's why it's
I think so. Yes. Mm.
okay. So we have our active and the standby name nodes UIs, and I will quickly take a look of this UI. If there is no errors appearing, I think there is no error appearing. Otherwise, if you would
Yeah.
have some missing blocks, they will show up right at the top. If there would be some missing blocks, they will come up right at the top. Okay. So this is one part when you are when your name nodes are fine and everything is looking good. The other part is, let's say, the other issues. I think we discussed that before also. That can happen is either under replicated blocks or blocks with corrupt replicas or missing blocks. So these three kind of issues can always come up within HDFS. When you see any kind of issues that has a relation with the blocks, how you can figure out which blocks are wrong. So the very important command is fsck, file system check. Okay, this command will do a complete system check on what all blocks are there in the cluster, what is their location, how many replicas are present, because we want to analyze a situation like this. Let's say when you ran dfs admin hyphen report,
Mhm.
I will just print the first 10 line. Head and tail, these two are commands. uh, as you can, as the name suggests, head will tell you the first few lines, tail will tell you the last few lines. Right now I'm interested in the first 10 lines of the dfs admin report command, just to see if there are any
Mhm.
missing blocks, under replicated blocks, things like that. Okay, right now it's 0, but let's say if this number was, if the missing blocks number was 10.
But you didn't use the if this time.
Yeah,
The one.
I'm just telling
Okay.
you the situation first of all.
Okay.
So if
No,
the
I'm
situation
just
is,
wondering that if.
yeah, the situation is that I have 10 missing blocks. Just imagine that. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
how will I figure out which are those 10 blocks? Where are they situated? And what should I do in such a case? Okay, so the only command that will tell me is the fsck, file system check,
Right.
and you have to specify on which path do you want to run this fsck. So within HDFS also, the starting position of any path is slash. Further, you find more directories like user, hive, warehouse, right? So all of these things you can find. So when we run an fsck, I want to specify on which path do I want to do the file system check on. If it's the complete cluster, you are not sure whether the missing blocks are part of a certain path, then you can run this fsck on the whole slash. Slash will refer here the complete HDFS file system. Now, few options I would always prefer to give along with this command. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So what these options refers to, that for each block information within the slash or within the complete HDFS, I want to show which files are those blocks associated to, what are those blocks, and what are the locations where these blocks are stored. So location in here refers to the which data node actually this block is stored onto. So this flushes out the complete health check of the slash, which is currently healthy because there was no missing blocks under replicated blocks. But if there would have been, this would not come as healthy, and you will see some numbers just like the HDFS report command. And you can check the status of each blocks like this. So right now, if you just take a look at this information, what does it say? It's related to the file. Since I gave -files option, that's why this is getting printed. This block is related to this file. It's a one block file. This is the block pool ID, which will be common for each block. Okay. At last is the block number. This is the block number. This will be different. You can see it's different for each block. 17301732353440. But the block pool ID, this is the block pool ID. This will be same for each block. So all of these lines here depict different blocks. Now I will be interested in the blocks which are not appearing okay, because those would be missing. Okay, so once, let's say if this is my block which is appearing, instead of okay here, it's appearing missing. So how will I troubleshoot? I will first of all get to know that okay, this block is related to this file which is stored in this location on HDFS. Next thing I will want to understand, this is the ID of block, which is fine. This is just for the information purpose. Now I am interested on which data node. So let's say if there are hundreds of data nodes within my cluster, this block is only present on 3 data nodes since the replication factor is 3. So which are those 3 data nodes? That information I will get from this command. It says, okay, so right now these are live replicas, so everything is fine. That's why it's coming as live, and it is stored on this data node, this data node, and this data node. Okay, so if the block is missing, that means something is wrong on the 3 data nodes over which my block is stored, and that can be wrong. So that can be, there can be various scenarios in such a case if data node might be down. So if I switch off one of these data nodes right now, you will see under replicated blocks and missing blocks probably. So the data node should be up and running every time. Otherwise, there can be an issue with the disk also on the data node over which the data is, this blocks is being stored. Those disks might have got corrupted or they are not responding properly. So we can narrow down our search to only 3 data nodes and only the blocks which we are currently appearing as missing. Okay, so this was about missing. If you see a corrupt block, now corrupt block will happen in a situation wherein, so the data node was, so there was some issue on the data node earlier, but now it's fixed. And in the process of fixing it, some of my blocks got corrupted. Now the name node will still recover those blocks, because when it sees, okay, if some block is getting corrupted, it will recreate those blocks on probably the other data nodes or on the same data node, because of the replication factor 3. It always ensures that each block has a replication factor 3. Okay, but the number, if you still see corrupt blocks, the easiest command to remove that is in the same command. So this files, blocks, and location is actually telling me all the information. But if I want to fix something related to corrupt blocks, I can run delete. Because the corrupt blocks, I don't have any issues deleting them. But yes, you must ensure, because there could be some audit scenarios in your organizations. So you must ensure which were those corrupt blocks. So you have to make a note from this command again. You have to search which block is appearing as corrupt in this whole file, and you have to just make sure that you write it down somewhere so that when the audit team comes, you can give those evidence to them. Okay, so the easiest part and the most common issue with HDFS services is the missing, corrupt, or under replicated blocks. You must understand what these three terms refer. You can also see one more term, over replicated. That means if the block is present more than 3, so that's not a problem, but yes, it might make you utilize more space in the cluster. Okay, but the three important issues will be under replicated, missing, and corrupt. So first, to get down to the issue, you should run the FSCK. Then you can figure out which data nodes are actually causing the trouble. And if it's a corrupt block, you can run the delete command, which will fix it.
But we don't have to mention the block name.
No, we
just
don't. We can.
HDFS.
So right now I ran it on the complete path. If it was, if you already know, okay, which block it is, you can specify the path of that file, and it will fix the corrupt blocks associated with that. Also, if you want to narrow down your search, so you're already aware that, okay, probably this file is having missing blocks. So you can pass in the path instead of slash. You can pass in only that path. This will give me information only about this path. So this only the information of the blocks associated with this path is now printed. This is how you can narrow down your search using FSCK. Okay, other things. So if you are having issues with the data node, why are they down? Why are they not responding? Every time the process will remain common. You have to go to the logs location. Now get into a habit of reading those logs files. Okay, and the best way, since right now you are into a learning phase, best way is to start from the top and read it to the bottom. Try to understand how the flow worked. So let's say if the issue, so you can see there are log files for each kind of process that is running on the HDFS. So any issues you face with any process, you have to go to that particular server. So right now, let's say if out of all these roles, the issue is with my data node on 44, which I'm currently sitting on to. So you have to go specific to the which node is giving you trouble. You have to go to that specific node, enter the log file. So right now, if the issue was with the data node, I can just open the data node file. and just go to the bottom. If you want to go to the bottom of a file when you are doing a VI, easiest way is to press Shift followed by the G. So now I am at the bottom. So if there would have been an issue, I could see errors and warnings over here. Right now there is no issue. So whenever you get time, just try to read this file. I will go again to the top, which I can do by shortcut GG. Press GG 2 times, you will reach the top of the file. So this will give me a lot of hints. This file gives me a lot of hints what actually happened at the back end when my data node got started. So start reading from the top. It says a startup message, starting data node through user HDFS. This is the server on which data node getting started. This is the version of HDFS. Then in between, these are all the jars. You can see the location of jar. Why I was telling you yesterday to not delete any files, in the OPT directory. You can see all the jars which are associated with the parcels are present in the OPT directories. So, and also in the libs folders. So this lib is actually in the OPT, but even if you see a lib at any other locations, you cannot remove any files out of the libs, because lib, OPT, these are the default locations where Cloudera keeps their files, and not just Cloudera. Any process on Linux, you will find a lot of files are present in the OPT or the lib folders. So we should never remove any files out of these. So these all jars are loaded, or the files are loaded when the data node gets started. Once it is loaded, it's telling me the Java version. So this is all the startup information. Okay, after that, it starts. You can see server data node, registered Unix handlers. So there is something called the Unix handlers. Metrics. So all the metrics which are to be flushed on the Cloudera Manager UI. So what is a metric? If I just so right now these are all the different kind of metrics that I have. Although there is nothing for data node, I think specifically. These are Linux level metrics. You can see the disk IOPS, disk throughput, latency. So next time I want you to go through these graphs, and you should understand what are these terms: IOPS, throughput, network throughput, disk throughput. What is the difference? Swap, memory usage. I think this is easy to understand. So out of this is my limit. I have 15.5 GB is the limit, and 9.3 GB is being utilized currently by this data node. Okay, try to understand these terms. This is very helpful. A lot of times you will just come to this page, you will see the graphs, and you will understand what is wrong. So for example, if this is a network throughput graph, you can see there was a peak at this particular instant. So let's say if somebody had already came to you, he said, okay, I saw an issue at 1:52 a.m. One of my jobs got failed. You can directly come to this graph. You can see, okay, there was a high network throughput at 1:52 a.m. at this particular time. So this could be a reason for it. Okay, but yes, this is still a little advanced admin stuff. Once you are actually through with all these terms, then you could understand, and you could relate uh, issues in your cluster corresponding to these graphs. For now, just stick to the point of reading the log files, running the commands, and that will get you through the issue. Okay, so and also read all this stuff, what happened in between, file descriptor is enabled. These are all step-by-step process that took place at the back end of the data node start. Over here, you can see 50020. So data node actually runs on two ports. you can see another port. This is the UI 50075. Then you see 50020. This is a IPC port. IPC port means whenever data nodes and data nodes are trying to contact each other, or data node is trying to contact the name node for data transfer, it will use this port 50020. When the data node is trying to contact the client, or sorry, the client is trying to contact the data node, he will use the port 50010, which is currently not started at this point. Somewhere down the line, it will be started. So not only it gives you the information about what happened, but also gives you the information about the ports. Now over here you can see 50010 port has started. 50010 is the port which is being used by the data node to receive blocks. You can see. Okay, so take a note of these ports also. These are also important. Understand, Google it. If let's say if you're not sure what is 50010, I've also told you, start into the habit of googling stuff, because a lot of time you will not, since you're only starting up, you will not know about a lot of things. So you should understand, you have an eye for detail on the Google as well. So I will type something like data node port 50010, just to make sure what exactly it does. Over here I can see the difference. Okay, so these are all the ports which data node service use. I saw 50020 getting started. I saw 50075. Right now I'm not running a HTTPS. My UIs are not secured, right? So it will not run on port 50075. Here, my UI is not secured. It's not HTTPS, but it's only HTTP. S is for security in HTTPS. So the port is 50075. I also saw 50020. So what exactly is it for? It's an IPC port. 50010 is data transfer port. So whenever a block or a data is to be transferred from other data node to this data node, or let's say it has to be transferred to the client who wants to read the block, always this port will be used. But if it wants to talk to the name node, and for example, the two files I discussed, right? Every data node sends two kind of information. One is a block report, other is a heartbeat, if you remember. So those two things will always be contacted using this port. Name node will connect to this port of the data node and fetch all those information of block report and heartbeat. Okay, so this is just an example. Similarly, I can go through the name node logs. So you can see it has given me so many hints and so many information about the process, which can help me troubleshooting also. And if something is going wrong, if I go to the bottom of this file using Shift G, the errors will start printing up here. Let's try and open the name node file and understand. Starting from the top, it says starting name node, all these logs will be uh, published. Then it starts the UI on port 50070. This is the name node UI port. You can scroll down. You can. So I'm just taking up example of the ports. You can also, so you can see over here it says DFS heartbeat interval. So now it's trying to get the block reports or the heartbeats of each data node. Somewhere down the line, it will ask for the block report also. So go through these files and understand what actually happened at the backend. Okay, it loaded the FS image. See, loaded image from this location. This is the FS image. This is the very first FS image, I think, 00, when the name node got started. This is the RPC port 8020. So again, if you're not sure what these two ports are for, the one port we saw earlier was 50070, and this port is 8020. You can come back to the Chrome and you can search it. Right now it's already shown here. You can see name node web UI 50070, name node metadata 8020, and what exactly is being done on these ports is also mentioned. Okay, so then after it loaded everything, then it started the safe mode. Over here you can see safe mode is on. Now you can be more sure what happened after the safe mode turned on. So all the steps after this and up till the point you see safe mode is turned off, that are all the steps that happens when the name node is in safe mode. You can see it loaded blocks. Currently it did not get any blocks, it is 0. So it started the IPC server. In between it also had some trouble starting a port. Now you can see there are few more ports used, 80022, 5446. These are not pretty important, nobody will going to ask you, but yes, somewhere down the line the name node use these ports. So this is advanced information. It says name node is still not started. Okay, after some time, now over here you can see 50010. Now if you see this port, this is actually the data node port, right? So even if it is getting printed into the name node file, because right now the name node is trying to contact each data nodes and try to understand what all blocks are actually stored onto them and registering those data nodes. So over here you can see name node is still in safe mode. So it will continue getting information from all the blocks, and once it will be through it, over here you can see safe mode is off. Step by step what all took, and within safe mode also you can judge it from what all happened within the name node. So make a habit of reading these files, and let's say somebody came to you and he said, okay, I faced an issue when I was trying to contact your HDFS. I was getting a lot of connection timeouts, and this is the error. The error says connection timeout connecting to 172.31.45.44:8020 instead of 50010. Just imagine that. Okay, and he gave you a time. Okay, so this error started happening on 13 March, somewhere in the morning. How will you search such a case? In that case, you will come to this name node log. So I can see that this file is started from the February. I can search for 13 March. To search anything in a VI editor, use question mark followed by whatever you want to search. Right now I want to search the date. Just see at the bottom I am writing it, okay, after the question mark. This is in the command mode right now. I'm not in the insert mode of the VI. So 3:13. Okay, nothing is getting printed. I think this file doesn't have a log for 13 March. The last part is of April. Maybe we didn't start anything on 13 March. Let's go somewhere around it. 03. We search for March. Yeah, I can see something with the March, 22nd March. So similarly, you can, okay, over here on 22nd March, there was a fatal issue. Error. So if you see something like fatal, that means it completely stopped the service. So search, whenever you're troubleshooting an error scenario, search for these kind of keywords: fatal, error, warning. So this time on 22nd March, there was an issue on your data on your name node. It wasn't able to connect to the journal nodes on these three servers. You can see the port of the journal node is 8485. Okay, so just go through these files one by one, make a list of what happened, just step by step write it down in plain English for your own understanding. Okay, so once you are reading it, let's say if you're reading this file from the top, correspondingly open your notepad, start writing from step one. So this is a name node, start scenario. Step one, printed the startup message. Step two, loaded the jars. To be more specific, I can specify the location of the jar: OPT, Cloudera, parcels, something something, lib, then multiple jars within the lib that ends with a jar. Step 3, started the IPC server. No, it did not started the IPC first. It started the, I think, web UI port first on 50070. After that, so just step by step, you have to just make it so and keep it with your as an in somewhere in your notes, so that people might ask you in your interviews, although it would be a pretty advanced thing. So if I'm taking a candidate's interview, I would like to always know that he understand what happened behind the scenes when I started something or when I stopped something. Okay, so in here it started 40070 first. After that, I think it loaded FS image probably. Yeah, it loaded the FS image. So that will be my step 5. After that, it started 8020 socket. It also used some socket 8022, which I'm not sure right now. Even the UI is not telling me about it. But yes, this is a port which this is also being used. It loaded the blocks. Once the 8020 started, then it starts connecting with the data node. So step by step, I'm not sure what actually happens behind the scenes when a process starts. And this will not only help me in my troubleshooting, but it will also make you more comfortable with reading these log files. Okay, so this is how broadly you will troubleshoot issues on HDFS. The other kind of services, a lot of things will be remain same. So if I talk about HBase, similar to how you have HBase FSCK in here, HBase also provide the HBCK, which tells me the status of my HBase cluster. These are tables within the HBase. This is, I told you, this is the most important table, meta and namespace. These, and basically HBase is the key space over here, which is important. And you can take a look at this HBCK and you can understand it's giving me the information of it will give me the information about each table within my HBase cluster. And if any table is inconsistent, right now over here you can see, okay, because all tables are fine, but sometimes you might see some inconsistency. So this will limit me down to the point, okay, which table is inconsistent and which is the region server on which that table is deployed on. Right now, I can see this table V9 test is on 145. The admin tables, I will call these two as admin tables. These are on 44. There is another table employee on 238. HBCK, and also you can go to this folder which have the log files of. So right now we are on to region server. That's why it's region server. Otherwise, there would have been a master. That would also be helpful to check. If there would have been some error or issues, that would be started printing at the bottom. Or if you want to go to some earlier date, you can always search in the log file. Always look out for fatal or error
warning.
Info is not that helpful, but yes, it does tell you what is happening at a particular instant of time in a service. Okay, now the next task. First of all, I would still want to see a screenshots of everyone's cluster, whatever state it is right now. Okay, so let's see if this is for Isa. He will just take a screenshot of this and post it on the group. This will tell me if what exactly you were able to fix, what and what not. Just take a screenshot of this page and post it on the group. Okay,
Okay.
everyone. And the other thing I want. Okay, so now I'm giving you a task. Okay, everyone. I want you to create two more Hive servers. There are three servers. Let me just write it down.
Mhm.
So you should ensure that you have three Hive server within the cluster. And then I want you to do this step. Enable Hive server HA or high availability. And there is a separate tool which is called HAProxy for it. Now, just to give you a hint, you will go here, you will search. Consider it as a task, as an admin task which has been assigned to you. So you can simply search enable HA Hive server using HAProxy. Pretty simple steps are there. Right now we don't have Kerberos, so we will be using this step. Unmanaged cluster without Kerberos. These are the steps. Okay. Now, what is the expectations out of this task? Now the expectation is, yes, so the expectation is once you have 3 Hive servers, okay, so let's say you have 3 Hive server in here. Now what happens is when I try to connect to a Hive server from Beeline, and I try to connect, let's say, from here. Double slash. Okay. So right now I have only one Hive server, right? So I will be connecting to it using the Beeline. I will just give, this is my server address. Beeline runs by default on port 10,000. Sorry, Hive server runs by default on port 10,000. So I will give the port 10,000. Okay, something is wrong with the Beeline. Probably I don't have, it's there. Gateway is there. Gateway, if gateway wouldn't have been there, I would face issues with connecting. PDBC. Okay, I think I gave the wrong URI. Let me just log it. Yeah, there is no double slash after JDBC. So I'm trying to connect to my Hive server. Hive server is used whenever you're trying to connect from Beeline. Now, let's say this time I've connected to 44. Now, if you add 2 more Hive servers, if I have add 2 more Hive servers, this will take some time. Now, the point is, every time I want to connect to a Hive server, I will have to separately specify their IP address. Okay, so right now I connected to 44. Now let's say that the other 2 Hive server also comes online. If I would have to connect to them, I will have to change this IP address every time. Now what the HAProxy here does is, as the name suggests, it is HA. You will be just specifying the host on which you installed HA. Let's say I installed HA on the 44 only. Now at the backend, what it will do is, it will decide which Hive server it should connect to. So the easiest part here is you don't have to give your clients separate URLs for the 3 separate Hive servers that you have, but you will just be sharing them only one URL. And at the backend, all the load balancing, this is called load balancing. The load will be balanced between the 3 Hive servers, which will be done by the HAProxy service, which I want you to configure. Okay. So just do this, and once you have done that, just show me this beeline command connection. Okay, and once you connect to the beeline, just run few commands like
Sahil, beeline command means like
they are the
we
same
have to.
commands, same
Yeah,
IP.
exactly. The one you just did. Like we were just connecting the each server of the hive, like the old 2.1 and the new 2.1.
Yes, but
Okay.
yes, but I want, instead of you connecting to them separately, I want you to enable HAProxy.
Okay. So and we also have to install HAProxy.
Yes, you have to install and you have to go to the steps, whatever this document
Mm-hmm.
says.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing document, you have to search it yourself. Okay, this will
Okay.
make you good with your Googling skill. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to discuss today. Now, if you have got time for another 10 minutes, I think most of the issues are still solved. But if you have time, you guys are already there on in this meeting. Continue and remove other issues if there are any.
I think that's
Again,
the main one.
checkpoint. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what issue. So another manager is down. Just spend another 10 minutes. At least make it yellow. These two. And the ones which are appearing yellow, just tell me why. What is the exact reasons behind it? Okay. Just spend another 5-10 minutes and do this. So,
But
who have any
okay,
questions?
yarn.
Hmm.
I have an issue with the yarn because I tried that to make it at least yellow, but it didn't work.
Okay.
Because there is, I think,
Yes.
like I'm not understanding some point in because I think I changed something which is wrong, and it's just not going out the red stuff, like the bad health.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe I just, the security and I think I changed the GB stuff like completely wrongly. I think, yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, tell me now.
Oh, the yarn stuff, like
Hmm. What exactly?
it's
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. What did I do here? One is down, like
Start this.
yeah, that's this role process failed to start.
Okay, so in this case, what you'll do is
Yeah.
go to this host.
Hmm.
The processes are running. This is down. You can see fatal.
Yes.
Go to the node manager role. Okay, 1 second. I came back to it again. I will try to start this first. And now
Okay.
it's on 145. Other thing I can do is, okay, let's just try and start this normally.
Okay.
This is like a tail hyphen 100F only. Okay, it's not starting up. Something is wrong.
Mhm.
Let's see if this UI is able to tell me what is wrong. No. So I will have to go to the server.
That's a B9DN.
So I will open the log, go to the bottom. It will tell me what is the issue, why it is not starting up. See,
Cost.
pretty clear. This is a directory which is having permission denied.
Okay.
What should I do in this case? Why will a permission denied occur first of all?
Why did the permission deny?
Yeah, tell me.
So you're gonna see the last 10 lines from that one.
Yes. 10 is not helpful, so I will make it.
No.
No.
So you are trying to find it out why the permission denied from that tail.
No. I didn't copy this location properly. So instead of opening the file again, I just put a tail. So that will flush at least the last 100 lines and I can copy this location. So now I've copied it. It might have not have been there. No such file. So that means something before it is having permission issues. Even this is not there. Yeah, this folder is there, but there should be some problem with its permission. So I will do ll over its parent directory and grep this. Okay, it's yarn Hadoop only. So this is fine. Then probably another parent directory is having issue. It shouldn't be root. That would cause problem. Yeah. See, clear no permission was there. Is what does this dash 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 here tells me? Is there any permission?
No.
What should I do? Shirley, you there?
I think everybody is there, but
Okay, anybody just tell me what should I do? How to fix this? Simple ch on.
yeah.
First of all, I will instead of ch on, I will just do ch mod 755 var lib Hadoop. Also, to make it more better, I will do yarn Hadoop. Sorry, ch on this time. Okay, let's try to start it now.
ch on ch mode.
Yes. Yeah, now it works fine. Pretty much yellow now instead of red. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's all for today. Next Friday, next Thursday, we won't probably be having a class. If there would be, I will tell you the schedule of it. But
Okay.
just configure HAProxy and we might meet on the Sunday. Okay.
Okay. And if I have questions, I will
Yeah.
write it down on an email.
So if you have questions, if you want to do some group meeting, group learning also, you just ping to Tasin. He will open up a meeting for you. Okay. Let's say, so your
Okay.
cluster is fixed. Let's say if others are having issues, and I want a screenshot of everyone's cluster. Okay. Let's say if others are having some issue, you can go
Right.
join. Yes. Who's this?
Could you
Yes.
please, this is Asad here.
Yes. Yes. Asad, tell me.
Yeah, could you please give me just 5 minutes?
Okay. You want to share screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, the Cloud Manager is not downloading actually, the installing. I tried to build again the cluster. Every time, you know.
These files are not present. Isa, you there? 1 second. Okay, he's gone. I need you to download the files from Isa's server. The daemon file is not downloaded. Is it present someplace else? Isa, did you download it?
Sorry.
Yeah, did you download these files to some other place before?
No.
Okay. So you will have to download these files actually. Let him come. Okay, I'll just download those files from his server. Okay, let's do one thing. Isad, let him, probably he's out for a break. Let him come back.
Okay.
I want you to connect with him and you will be doing something like this, HTTP. So just get his public repo URL. Just like how you have created your public repo, he is also created a public repo. And
Okay.
for that, tell him to place the files we moved out from var HTML yesterday, right? If you remember, we moved out certain files and we placed it in, I think, run. So tell him to do something like this: move/run 5.15.2 and /run cdh5, and he has to move it to var HTML. Once he run this command, okay, Isa, you there? I think he's back.
Yeah.
Isa, just ping this on chat for me. Isa.
Yes. I just knocked this there.
Okay, no problem. So just connect with him, try to solve this. I want those files to be back on your server. Then run the same command. So you are missing out on this file, daemon. See, it's not there. You only have server and server DB. So connect with Isa. If you want to use the same portal, it's fine. Try to fix it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be dropping off now. Any other
All right.
questions?
Thank you.
Shirley, Shantanu, if you guys are there.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So just follow up, and I want a screenshot of everyone's cluster by next week. Okay. And it should be green. That's the expectation. And you should have HAProxy installed.
Okay.
Just like I told in the class. Okay. Okay. So thank you. Good night. Goodbye.